Today I'm joined by Kiss Gergely. Kiss is a three-time Olympic champion, world champion, European League winner. Kiss was voted All-Star player at the 2004 Olympic Games. He is an international Hall of Famer. Welcome, Kiss.
Hello, welcome everybody.
Kiss, we talk about your book later, but on your book it says Kiss Gergely and your profile says Kiss Gergely. What's the difference?
Like Peter and Pete, for example, in English.
Okay.
It's a shorter version.
Okay. So
Gergely is actually like Gregory in English, the same. So some of the friends, they call me Gary.
Okay.
Like Greg.
Kiss, you have been playing water polo in Hungary. You clinched 3 Olympic gold medals. Hungary is one of the powerhouses in history of water polo. What's the secret to water polo in Hungary?
Good question. You probably don't know, but water polo is the oldest and most traditional team sport in the history of the modern Olympics. We were the first team sport to be played at the Olympics. And in spite of this huge tradition, the sport itself is not as well known worldwide as basketball or soccer, but the traditions are very strong. In Hungary, we are very rich of warm water, thermal water. And the main reasons could be for the tradition of water polo in Hungary is that we could train more months every year, since nobody had indoor pool in their countries, and Hungary, we had a bit of advantage to have more trainings because our pools were a bit warmer than the average. And even during the winter time, we could train. I mean, the ancient players of water polo. And then we had always huge personalities as coaches in water polo. And generations to generations, they gave the know-how of this sport. And a lot of water polo players wanted to have a degree also, which is not the same in every professional sport. But water polo was always strong for players to play the sport and then to study in university at the same time.
Okay. How did you get into water polo?
It's a strange story because my parents, they are not good swimmers at all. And in my districts, in the center of the capital of Hungary, in Budapest, in that district, there are no swimming pools at all. But somehow I love the water. Every time we went to a place where I could jump in the water, like River Danube or Lake Balaton or any kind of summer places like let's call it beaches, but these are swimming pools, outdoor swimming pools for summer. Those countries who don't have sea, we have to find other ways to have fun by the water summertime. So I love the water, and I was quite tall, and my parents thought that swimming or water polo would be a good choice to start. I was 6 when I had my first training, so I learned earlier to swim than to write and read.
Okay.
And I fell in love immediately in the sport, and I learned about the tradition of the Hungarian water polo. You know, we are the only nation who had 9 Olympic gold medals in the history of this sport. So yes, I fell in love with this sport, and I couldn't wait to go every day to train, and I was really eager.
Yeah. I'm a kid of the 80s. One of my favorite movies is The Magnificent Seven, the original one. In water polo, they have the famous 6. You are one of them, basically 6 people who won 3 consecutive Olympic Games. In this team, 6 people did that. What is special about this generation?
That movie is also one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And actually, we are 7 players in the water, but you were mentioning that in my team we were 21 players to win 3 gold medals. Every time 13 players can be participated from one nation in water polo, 13, and every time our coach changed 4 players. So 2000 Sydney, 13 players, and 4 new players in Athens, 2004, and 4 other new players in Beijing. And only 6 of us could participate all the 3 times when we had the gold medals. I think the generation itself was a very unique generation. All of us, physically, mentally, were very prepared, and we wanted to achieve gold medals from the age of 12, 13, very young age. We decided to be Olympic champions. Okay, everybody in water polo in Hungary wants to be Olympic champions. It's like a must tradition because we knew at the early age that the water polo is one of the main sports in Hungary, in the center of Europe, in this small country. And being eager, working hard, not missing a training, always focused on the big goals. Also small steps during a game, and also the big goals, big achievements of our life. So I have to say, looking back, that our generation at a very young age, we were just very professionals in a way of thinking to be a good player, and we were always very much criticizing ourselves. We were very much tough against ourselves in front of our mirror. So we weren't never been satisfied with our performance. I think these were the keys. Of course, during a game, we were enjoying to play. This was our love, the biggest love, this sport. But on the other hand, we wanted always be better.
Yeah. In your athletic life, what was your darkest moment?
I think the 2012 London Games, where we were quite an old team. Most of the players, we were over 33, 34, 35, 36 years old. And we still wanted to have the 4th gold medal. 4 of us could achieve out of the 6, 3 times Olympic champions, and other Olympic champions too. We had a very good team, very good names, very good fellows, very good brotherhood we had. But something was missing. Maybe our age was the problem, that we were not as in a top form physically or mentally or both. Maybe we didn't have that kind of chemistry in between us and between our coach. It's very difficult to say, but I was like falling to pieces after the first 2 games we lost in the group phase, and then we lost the quarterfinals. These 3 losses, like I was collapsed in pieces, and I was also crying, I have to tell you honestly, which is not very often for me. But I felt that my last Olympics at the age of 35, and we cannot have a medal because we lost the quarterfinals. I think it was maybe the baddest moment.
Yeah. How did you recover from it?
On the other hand, it was easy to recover because being a 3-time Olympic champion, being Hall of Fame, it's much easier to step forward. I knew that I cannot always win. It's a team sport, first of all. So not me to win or lose, but the whole team. But my performance can be very helpful, of course. And we have to learn that in our lives there are ups and downs. Of course, everybody's telling the same from the world of sport. We have to learn that there are moments to be happy and there are moments to be sad. and the good athlete can throw away the nice moments when you are very high in the clouds and you think that you are untouchable and you are the best, and we have also to throw away those kind of feelings when you are very down. That for London Olympics was very difficult for me, because I knew that I have been never played as bad as at the Olympics in London, and I have no more chances because of my age, because of my physical and mental preparation. I won't be able to have another 4 years period to be in Rio 2016. And on the other hand, I had other activities in the civil life after sport to start. So I think it helped a lot to look back all my medals and all my successes. But I think it's very natural that some of these bad moments remains forever in our hearts.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we have to forget. If you remember the nice moments, then probably you will remember also the bad moments of your life.
Yeah. What was your best moment?
In sport, probably the Sydney 2000 games and the Athens 2004 games. 2000 Sydney, because we won the first gold medal in our career at the Olympics after 24 years, and Hungary couldn't win Olympic Games. It was a very long period for the Hungarian water polo, because in the 50s and 60s we were leading the world. We were, let's say, the best country for this sport. And 70s we had one more golden team, and after that in the 80s and 90s we couldn't have any medal after Moscow bronze medal. So it was a big thing that a small country like Hungary, again in a team sport, can show itself, and we had this gold medal. And 2004, because it was a very thrilling final, and we had a 100% performance during the Olympics. We won all our 7 games, and in the final with the biggest rival, Serbia and Montenegro, we had a huge final, and we were leading only once during the final in the last 2 minutes when we won the game. So it was really dramatic for both teams and for all the spectators. And then we became 2 times Olympic champions, winning all our 7 games, and it was a big, huge satisfaction for us.
What did you learn from this moment?
After Sydney, I learned that in spite of you won 2 European championships, you won the World Cup, and you won the Olympic Games, it doesn't mean that you will win forever. And it was a very strong and very quick lesson for us, because after the Sydney Olympics in 2001, in our city, in Budapest, we had the European Championships, and we had 2 losses in the European Championships, and we arrived only in the 3rd place. So only bronze medal we got, and it was a big satisfaction for us. It was very delusional for us. I think that was the moment when I learned that no matter if you are successful or if you are failed yesterday, but today is a new day, and you have to step forward. You have to put the same energies, and you have to be the same as tough and ready to learn, ready to be better.
Yeah. And that was, what did you say? Which year was that, Europeans in Budapest?
2001, right
Okay.
after the Olympics in Sydney.
But then 2003 to 2004, you guys wiped away everything, huh? You won, I don't know, in 12 or 13 months, you won 4 major competitions or something?
Yes, that was the brightest year of my career, when with my club, we won the Hungarian League, we won the Euro League, which is the Champions League for the world of water polo at the club level. This is the most important thing. So we won with my club 2 gold medals, and with the national team 4 gold medals in a row. So in 13, 14 months from 2003 to 2004 August, we had really a huge success. Step by step, every competition went very well, and I was selected as the best player of the world. It was a big individual success and honor, but I didn't care really, because we said always that, okay, we won the gold medal and we let the other team's players to have the best goalie, the best player, the top scorer of the tournament of the year. Let's have them the individual stuff, and we have the team stuff.
That's cool.
But then as we won everything, we had some individual honors too.
Yeah. If you could travel back in time 10, 15, 20 years, what advice would you give a younger Kiss?
Maybe to sit down sometimes a bit and think, and not hurry all the time, and be a bit patient. But on the other hand, I was quite grown up and quite mature and ready to have big decisions. As at the age of 19, I decided to sign a professional contract to Italy, when I had to move house with my girlfriend. And we decided to live together at the age of 19. It's very young and a very big decision, because the best team of the world is calling you. A new culture, a new city, a new language, a new culture of the sport, of your sport, new people. And so let's say that we were quite ready, quite mature personally. And that's why I wouldn't refuse any of my decisions very much. Of course, I made a lot of mistakes, of course, but on the other hand, some of the mistakes can help in your life to be better one day. So yeah. I don't refuse my mistakes.
Yeah. Without mistakes, we don't learn, huh?
Yes, exactly.
What are the habits that make you a successful athlete and or person?
I think I had the kind of way of thinking to be a better player, as like being an Olympic champion. What does it mean? What's the size of it? You know, if you want to run 100 meters, you know that you have to achieve like 980 or 990. I don't know what is now the record to be in the best 8 in a competition. But for a team sport, what's the size of being an Olympian, being an Olympic athlete? So when I was like 14, 15, I started to think that what do you have to put in? Everything. So after training, I had push-ups at home, watching a movie in my room, or playing with tennis ball or other balls, just to have those skills with the ball. Or Sunday morning, not sleeping till late, but watching a game on videotape, the old-fashioned one. So every day I said to myself, if every day I do something extra, not only the trainings itself. Okay, in trainings I was a kind of, if the coach said let's do 10 push-ups, I did 12. I was this stupid. Not 8 but 12. But after training, what do you have to do to be better? I think what you put in sport, you can get out, and it was very true for me. I was a really hard worker, and then I had that kind of routine that I was prepared always for the tough games. I didn't really care about the easy games, to score 5 or 6 or 7 goals in one game, but to score the last goal in a very important game. That was my way of thinking. That's how I grew up.
Yeah. You just talked about it. You were famous for your physical presence and physical strength. Is that something that came natural to you, or did you work for it?
Listen, my parents are 20, 27, 28 centimeters smaller than me.
Okay.
So it's also a lot that I was similar to my grandfather and grandfather. They were a bit taller than my parents. But yeah, what I was telling you, this kind of way of thinking about trainings and being prepared and being on the top, that helped me a lot physically, of course, first of all. And when I was ready physically, then mentally I had much more self-confidence during a game. I am ready because I have still oxygen. I am still ready to play the last quarter till the last minute of the game, probably nearly the same level. I was never been a very quick player, but I had always the endurance to play all the 4 quarters the same level. And I think it helped me a lot. So yes, I was physically strong, and also I had that kind of skill to realize important seconds or important actions. In the last period, I had winning goals, fortunately, to score several times in my career, and I was very happy to have this opportunity to live these moments.
Yeah. Do you have a morning routine?
Not really. During my career, when I had games, mostly we had league games on Saturday evenings, and then I had quite the same routine: breakfast, and then in the morning some activity to forget a bit the game, maybe just take a walk or working at home, doing something in the garden, or being with my children when I became a father. And then easy lunch, and then after every lunch at match day, I try to have a rest, sleeping half an hour, 1 hour, something, just to be focused, just to concentrate on the game. And after this rest, after the lunch, I started to be ready, to be explosive, to be energetic. I was listening to some rock music, and I was prepared to the fight, to the game. So I had this kind of line to build up from morning to the afternoon.
Yeah. And you mentioned you became a father. What year was that?
2003, when we started that very nice period with my national team.
How was that, let's say, before, when you were, let's say, alone, focusing on your sport solely, but now you have two responsibilities, right? You have your sport, but you also have children. How was that?
Yeah, and also the university, because I finished the University of Law in Hungary when my daughter was 2.
Okay.
So I had these 3 stuff: the family, the sport, and the studies. Yeah, it was difficult, and I changed quite a lot after my first daughter born, because of course the sleeping time changed. And sometimes I woke up when I could. If she woke up at 3 or 4 in the morning, then my wife let me to have a rest in the morning later on when I didn't have training in the morning. So we had to find a balance, and we had to be more mature and more ready mentally to organize our weeks and months because of our daughter. So yeah, it was different from that time, from that moment when she was born, but also she gave us extra energies and extra happiness. Her personality and that years are the nicest years for a father to see the daughter to grow up. It was just beautiful for me.
How do you prepare yourself for important moments?
I'm quite usual as an athlete to prepare for the most important moments of my career. I think for me it helped to build up the day of the important game, of the important moment. As I told you earlier, so this kind of line helped me to get closer physically and mentally to the moment, and to understand what is going on soon. Like the night before the game, I was just preparing myself, what kind of team, what kind of players we will face the next day, what is very specific in that team, what should I do in that game, what are the average and everyday things, and what are the specific things in my performance for the next game. And then, as I told you, it helped me a lot to build up from the breakfast to the game, my daily routine. And listening to rock music and being prepared, I felt myself in those important moments as a warrior. No matter if you hit me, if you put a knife in my stomach, I just go and I will win.
Yeah. In that Olympic final in 2004, Hungary was behind and reportedly they didn't perform very well. Then it said you turned it around, you scored 4 goals, including the final goal to clinch the title. How did you stay strong and rose to the occasion?
As we were talking about that 2 years, from 2003 to 2004, we had a lot of gold medals, and we were very self-confident. And we knew that our team is one of the best in the world, maybe the best. But we knew also that it has to be proven every day in the swimming pool. And we had in the Olympics, team sports, we played like 1 day off and 1 game day, 1 day off and then 1 game day. And our very first game at the Olympics, it was immediately the Serbian and Montenegrin team to play, which were the other biggest favorite of the tournament. So we faced the first and the last game against them, and we had the same 3-0 last quarter in the first game and in the last game against them. So they were leading both games. And as I told you before, we won all the 7 games, and we had to beat 2 times the silver medalist in the group phase and in the final, and 2 times the bronze medalist in the group phase and semifinals. It was Russia. And our group was very tough with Italy, with the United States, with Russia, with Serbia and Montenegro. And we were winning, but every game was very tough. We were winning always by 2 goals, not more, and very tough games, step by step. I like to have this example like the Roman legion, in the German forest, step by step, very focused, very, very clear-minded, very professional, but always be patient. What is coming on from the left, from the right?
Yeah.
And in the finals, we started very bad. They were leading by 3 goals, and I was as lucky to have that day, like one of my best days, and I scored the 3 goals to tie 3-3. And then they were leading again, and in the last quarter, in a few minutes, we had to have 3 goals, and in defense, getting 0 to win the Olympics, and we did the 3-0 last quarter, because everybody from my team, even if they didn't have their best day of their career, but they were very ready and they were playing 100% with their hearts, and they were playing self-confident, and we had a big teamwork in the last quarter.
Really cool. How do you overcome setbacks?
Sometimes these setbacks are very difficult. Sometimes you cannot manage. As a professional player of a sport, you have to learn that not everything can be replaced. Not every setback can be successful. As after every big trophy, you are not the same person anymore. Everybody wants to beat you, and you have to think that what you have done earlier for that success, you have to do the next day and every day, so on. So you don't have to change your attitude to be eager to love yourself as much, to give yourself the chance to be the best and better every day. So I think about setbacks, for me, there were always the next day, the next game, which helped me. I think we don't have to think big after a kind of difficult period. We have to get back step by step. We have to be patient with ourselves, and then we have to build up again, as like in a company. If you are in a bad year, in the next year you won't be from January the top. You have to be January, February, March, April, and step by step, just to be clear your mind, and be ready for the changes, be ready to understand the new situation, and not forcing anything, but of course to be ready to learn. That's very important for me.
Yeah. Who is your role model and why?
I have never had one person to look up, but I have always had a lot. But I couldn't say that Michael Jordan or Marco van Basten or any kind of big athletes were my only idols. There is a very sad fact that we lost one of our teammates, Tibor Benedek, at the age of 47. He passed away. He had cancer, unfortunately. And he was everybody's legend and everybody's idol in Hungary in water polo, and not only water polo. Millions of Hungarians were crying at that day last year when in the news it came out. Of course, we knew about the fact, but it was just unbelievably difficult to live those days. And he was for us the closest idol, because we trained with him, we fought with him, we saw him every day. He was the biggest 3 times Olympic champion, but he was also a master as a person, as a personality. And he became a very good coach also. He was a world champion coach, and he gave in his club in the last months even a very, very big thing to the young players, and some of them became very good players. So he was just great. But from the world stars, from Alain Prost, Formula One, to tennis stars, to basketball stars, to soccer stars, I had a lot of players, a lot of athletes to look up. And I wanted to create a mixture of them. Who is Gary Kish? Who is me? I didn't want to be him or him. I wanted to be myself, but still learning from everyone.
Yeah, that has actually come back quite a few times. That people say they don't have one role model, but they take the best from different people.
Let's see soccer, okay, just soccer. You look up to Messi, Ronaldo, Lewandowski, or who? They are great athletes, great talents, big hard workers. Who is your favorite? You can name one, but you want to be like him? I don't think. I want to learn from everybody.
Yeah. What is the best advice you received and who gave it to you?
I cannot say just one advice. I try to, like a snowball, I put together good advices, but of course, never give up. Everybody is telling this in the world of sport, especially, but in the right moment, it has a very big meaning for everybody. I think when you are down, then if you can think that there will be a tomorrow, there will be next week, there will be a new competition, then you can leave that sentence in with your heart, with your brain. You can live together in a very close way. That never give up. Go step forward. Go away from this bad moment and focus and look forward, right to the next goal. It's very difficult, and I realized that when you get older, it can be even much harder because you have less time to prove because your clock is telling you the truth. How old are you? But when you are young, everything can get away. You can just throw away your problems and go and don't never stop. I think it's a very average thing, but in the end it will decide if you became a champion or you can win in a big final or you will lose. If you just think back always negative things and you don't think that you are able to do that, it's enough 1%. 1% can miss only from the 100% of your performance, and then this 1% can be enough not to win.
Yeah.
Those who can clear their mind and step forward, those have a bit of advantage.
Yeah.
In a Monday morning training also, and in the Saturday evening competition.
Yeah. There's a video of you out there, and ever since we had our first contact, I probably watched it 5 times or something.
Really?
It's in Hungarian, but it has English subtitles. In that video, you said your coach, Dénes Kemény, was instrumental to the success by the way he motivated the team. What did he do and how did he do it?
He understood at the first second, turning back from Italy when he worked, turning back from Italy and being the national head coach of Hungary, that this team is almost done as personal skills, as big talents, as friendship, fellowship in between us. He didn't have to create a team and create players. He had to lead. And he understood that. He gave us very good trainings, of course, in everyday life, every summer when we had the preparation with the national team. We had like 8 to 10 weeks, like 9 to 10 trainings a week, 6 hours a day, very tough trainings, gym and swimming and leg work in the water and ball skills and tactics, friendly games, a lot of trainings, really. He put together the training program and he helped us to be ourselves. So he didn't want to rule our personalities. He didn't want to rule our way of playing, our way of thinking. He had his tactics, he has his training methods, but then he let us to decide a moment what to do. He let us to be ourselves. I think it was one of the main reasons why we could win, because we weren't soldiers. We weren't able to be just soldiers. During a training, yes. During a game, no. You had to put your individual skills, your way of thinking. I choose that pass. I choose that shot. I don't care what they are saying, what they are shouting. I have something in my mind. I do that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, 59 seconds of a minute, I work for the team. But there is 1 second when you have to decide that you will be a winning player or a losing player. And it cannot be taught at that right moment from outside. You have to be ready inside. And he helped us to be ready, physically and mentally.
Yeah. Yeah, I've spoken to him before, and actually he said that one of the, I don't think he said challenges, but he said what he wanted to do, because he had a team of superstars, that he wanted to make sure that they are not individual superstars, but that they act as a team.
Yes, really. Really, it was the best example, our friend Tibor Benedek. We spoke about him earlier. He was several times the top scorer of a competition, and the Hungarian news were full of him. That Tibor Benedek, 4 goals, 5 goals, winning goals when he was young. And after the Atlanta Olympic Games, 1996, our new generation came, and the older generation just gone from the national team. They were a good team, but they couldn't win gold medal in a top event like World Championships or Olympics. And in spite of that, Tibor was the leader of the team just at the age of 22, 23, 24, always top scorer, always the most important player. And with us, he understood this big step, this big change, that if we want to win, we have to be great players, of course, but united as a team. And he saw us growing up together as a generation, and he saw that we are very unique and very united. We had like a brothership, like real brothers in the water, and him as the best player, as the most experienced player, he came with us in this way, in this long way, and he remained the same superstar, the same legend, but more part of the team work. And he didn't care if he couldn't score in a game. He didn't care. Earlier he was angry. I am Tibor Benedek, I have to score. Everybody is watching me to score. They want me to score. And he changed a lot in this, but he remained the same super person and super athlete. And that's how, as I told you earlier, snowball, we put together ourselves with the older generation, some players, and ourselves, the younger generation.
Yeah, cool. How does a typical training day in the life of a water polo player look like?
A good training day.
A typical training day, a good training day?
Normally, we have 2 trainings every day. Morning, we have gym 3, 4, or 5 times a week, 60 to 90 minutes gym. We do like weights and abs and a lot of different things. And then we have the first day of the week more swimming. It can be like 1 hour swimming or 45 minutes. And when the game day, like Saturdays, getting closer, less swimming and more tactical and ball skills trainings. So in the morning, most of the teams, they have 2.5, 3 hours trainings. And in the afternoon, in the evening, they have 90 to 120 minutes trainings. It's 8 or 9 trainings a week. So some afternoon are free for water polo, but we have when we train hard, especially in the national team for the Olympics, in the preparation, we have 6.5 years hours training every day.
Yeah. Okay. You have written a book about your life and your career. What can readers expect from reading the book?
It's simply my story, and in my story, of course, I put the story of my team, my generation, how we became Olympic champions, how this guy from the center of the capital city of Hungary became a water polo player without any tradition in the family, and how was I fighting with those moments, ups and downs in my life, in my career, and who am I after my career? Having 2 university degrees, speaking some languages, having some sports projects, documentary movies, other stuff around the sport. What can I show to other athletes when one day they finish their career? So it's a bit, sometimes it's general and sometimes it's very, very detailed. And I didn't want to hide my problems. There were some tragedies, of course, in my life. I didn't want to hide those. I put some nice photos, of course. And after the book first edition in 2014, there was a kind of lot of questions from our fans of water polo to have this book, but it was sold out, fortunately. So I made a new the 4th chapter, the last 6 years of my life, from 2014, and I published newly the book with new pictures, some new stories about my 3rd daughter born, about some negative moments we were just talking about, my friend. And yeah, I'm trying to be simple in a way of I don't want to seem as a hero. I don't want to seem as a superstar. I'm just a guy from the block, from the center of the city, who became a well-known personality in his sport because of this and this and this and this and these details.
Yeah. Let's not be too shy, huh? You are a 3-time Olympic champion, Hall of Famer. Yeah. You are a superstar, huh? But you also want to show that you are a normal person, I guess.
Yeah, but I think those big stars of every sports or every field in our lives are can be closer to the fans, to the people, if they remain natural, if they remain as they were at the age of 15 or the age of 20. I don't have my hair cut like red or green or long or too short, or I don't want to show somebody else. I don't want to be a celebrity. I want to be an athlete who loves his country, who loves his sport, and who loves traveling and meeting different people. And I would like to show this kind of way of thinking.
Yeah, cool. Where can people find the book? Where is it available?
In Hungarian language, in the Hungarian bookstores, it can be reached, but I had some requests to do it in English, and I am thinking about it.
Okay.
How to do it, because the Hungarian language is very specific. It's a very separated language from every other language families. So if I want to put it internationally, as I was requested from some countries, then I have to put in English, of course, and I want to do it good translation and not just the translation, because it's kind of specific language, the water polo language also, not only the Hungarian language.
Yeah.
So I'm trying. I'm thinking about it, and I have to decide soon if I can make it in English.
Yeah. So if we have some publishers watching, you can reach out to me or to Kish and then get it
Don't
published in English.
hesitate to call.
No. Let's contact us. Do you want to nominate someone to be interviewed?
I was thinking about this question. If you want, as you live in Holland, if you want a Dutch athlete, or if you want a water polo athlete, then I can name different ones. I pass you the ball. I pass you the ball.
It's your choice.
Would you like German from your country, or Dutch where you live, or would you like Hungarian?
Hungarian is cool.
Hungarian is cool. Another sport, not water polo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your coach mentioned Peter Biros, but his English isn't.
Yeah. That's a bit of a problem.
We have you to help out as a translator.
I can mention Tamás Merz, the head coach of the Hungarian Olympic team, who was my teammate. We won together the 2000 Sydney Olympic Games.
What's the name? Tamás?
Tamás Merz.
Okay.
With umlaut. Tamás is the head coach of Hungary, preparing for Tokyo 2021 Olympic Games. They won the European Championships last year in Budapest, in Hungary, after 20 years, after our last success in the European Championships. He led the team to win again, and he can speak about how to be an Olympic champion as a player and how to help the young generation to become better and to win a title like he did. He had some nice medals won in the last 3 years in his coaching career. I think he's an interesting person because he has the bridge as player, as coach, with extremely nice successes.
Yeah, that's really cool. What's going on in the life of Kiss Gergely at this moment in time?
I'm the spokesman of a Hungarian sports organization, which is civil sport stuff. We want to help people after work to do more sports possible because the Hungarian statistics are very bad. Us Hungarians have to do more sports after the working hours. And I am trying to help in this field. And also we are doing a program every year, twice a year actually, to show for families in Hungary, to show free entrance, more than 100 sports. That's how the kids, they can come as a festival, a sports festival. They can come and they can try, they can see more than 100 sports, very traditional sports, very new modern sports, and they can get information, they can get flyers, they can speak with coaches, they can meet some Olympians, some Hungarian athletes, some stars. They can have some photos, and it's a nice day to spend for the families, to see all the sports like horse riding, kayaking, judo, soccer, basketball, whatever, a lot of sports. And they can, age of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they come, they try, they enjoy the day, they get a lot of information, and they can choose their sport. So there are some projects I'm doing. After my career, I think it's very important to give back to the younger generation and to the people the love of the sport what I had.
Cool. Where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram or Facebook. I have official pages, official fan pages, and if they are in Hungary, they are more than welcome to participate in our amateur sport events, to run, to bike, to swim, to hike. or to kayak.
Be careful what you offer. I will come over and join you.
You are welcome.
Keith, thanks a lot for your time. That was really
Thank
good.
you. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.